What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Outlet Show. I'm Joe Wagner alongside my two co-hosts, as always, Brent Allegra and Brayden Wilkins. Gentlemen, it's Wednesday. How are we doing?
Doing well. We'll get into it here, but we got some college football to talk about, NFL to talk about. Brayden is absolutely dialed on his bets right now, so you might want to listen to that guy. I'll turn it over to him right now.
I'm doing great. It was a good week for football for multiple reasons for me. So it was a good time.
Brayden, I was noticing your 40 time was a little slower than usual. Is that just because your pockets are filled with so much cash, or what's going on?
You know, sometimes you just gotta fill them up. That's all I got.
That's all you got. I mean, I completely understand it. You're just crushing it out here. What do you have to say to the people out there that are waiting to see one go in the hoop?
It may take a while. Some things are not meant to be all the time, but keep trying. Every once in a while, you'll see one go through.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Brayden Wilkins never won a bet for the rest of the 2025 season.
We jinxed it.
Glad we got the jinx out there for you, Brayden. So maybe lower the stakes a little bit.
Sure.
Up them in Danville. That's what we need. Awesome. Thanks everybody for hanging out here with us on Wednesday night, because there's currently not, unless I'm wrong, there's not any action yet. Am I wrong? It hasn't started yet.
I don't think so. Not that I know.
I don't think so either. So we understand if our viewership goes down 500% on Wednesdays when that starts. I know Dude Perfect just launched a podcast on Wednesdays, but I understand you guys are probably coming here, although their podcast is pretty cool, so go listen to it. They got Clayton Kershaw. We're going to get Paul Skeens on here. That's how we're going to rebuttal a little bit. I'm doing my best, guys. Who knows? Hey, they're not in playoff contention anymore, but let's go ahead and dive right on into it. We have college football week 3 recaps coming here for you first. Let's get absolutely dialed in with one of the games of the week in week 3. I'll kick it off here, guys, for us. We had the Texas A&M Aggies at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And finally, guys, speaking of seeing things go through the hoop, the Aggies finally got a top 10 win, and it came in a massive fashion for the Aggies. Guys, it's their first top 10 victory for the Aggies since 2014, an upset over number 3 Auburn, which Kyle Allen was a true freshman quarterback in that win for the Aggies, which is ridiculous to say, just point blank. Marcel Reed led a 13-play, 74-yard game-winning touchdown drive to end that game 41-40. And Marcel Reed, speak of the name, he looked fantastic. Despite having 20 incompletions and just 17 completions, he had 360 yards when he did complete the ball, with 2 touchdowns and an INT to his name. And keep an eye out for running back Le'Veon Moss. No, not Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Moss. He had 20 carries, 81 yards, and he got his name to the house 3 times as well on Saturday. As well as keep an eye out for Mario Craver, who had 207 reception yards and a touchdown as well. And Brent, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Scooby Williams having a pick in the second quarter. So I know you'd enjoy that one. Notre Dame falls to 0-2 after losing week 1, having a bye, and losing week 3. Somehow still ranked. Curious on that portion as well. But we've seen the AP committee be live on Twitter with some boneheaded mistakes. But CJ Carr, the quarterback for Notre Dame, went 20 for 32, 293 yards and a touchdown. And then you can't reference the Fighting Irish without talking about Jeremiah Love, 23 carries, 94 yards, and 2 total touchdowns for what's definitely going to be a first, second, third round draft pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Also, Leonard Moore got an interception in the first quarter. Notre Dame is going to get to take on Purdue in week 4. Should be an easy win for them next week, this upcoming Saturday. And then A&M will actually get to go on the bye before they host Auburn, who's got Oklahoma in their hands full this week as well. So Notre Dame should have a tired I don't know what I'm trying to say. A&M should have a tired Auburn team heading into week 5. So just a crazy game. I know we bounced on it a little bit when we were talking about the SEC and the Aggies in specific. They finally got the big one, Brent. They finally got the big one. But can they go win SEC play? To be determined.
I think they might. I really like Mario Craver. He is so freaking fast, dude. And then bringing over Casey Concepcion as well. That wide receiver room is really, really solid.
Yep.
But some discourse I've been seeing on the Notre Dame side, especially on Twitter. Do we think a 10-2 team makes the college football playoff in Notre Dame because the rest of their schedule is kind of a cakewalk, and it really reminds me of last year after losing to Northern Illinois, going 10-2 the rest of the way, and then making the playoff. I don't know what the committee's going to do here.
They've got their hands full for sure. Justin Fuente can help them out.
The only other ranked team they play right now is USC, which I think they could beat USC personally.
USC's ranked.
Yeah, they're ranked 25th, barely squeak it in there. But I think one thing we got to remember about Notre Dame is they got the name factor too. Like if the committee sees a 10-2 Notre Dame team there, I think they might just put them in, even if they're not necessarily deserving. So
that's true.
We'll see.
Well, considering they're 0-2 and what they're ranked number 24 now, so
yep.
Didn't know you could do that. And USF drops off the face of the earth for losing to the top 3 team in the country. We'll talk about that later. Brett, tell me about a game that happened in the ACC that just, wow, we went to the fake Death Valley and they just haven't recovered.
Gee whiz, dude. Clemson favored 2.5 going into this game. They actually opened at 3.5, but that number dipped once news broke about some key starters being out. And listen, I loved Clemson with the points going in. I made it my favorite best bet on last week's episode. On paper, this should have been one of those get-right games against an unranked ACC team. I even picked them as my national champion in our preview ACC pod. And wow, do I look dumb. I look so stupid. Georgia Tech said thanks for the disrespect and walked it off 24-21. Clemson drops to 1-2 and straight out of the AP top 25. Georgia Tech, they're 3-0 and sitting pretty at number 18. So got a lot of good things going on for Georgia Tech right now. But this team could legit start 11-0, in my opinion. They'll be favored in every game the rest of the way until that final matchup with Georgia. They're tough, they're physical, and Brent Key has these dudes believing. Haynes King was the dude in this one. 211 passing, 103 rushing, plus a rushing touchdown. And how about that fire drill 55-yard field goal to win it? Only well-coached teams can pull that off. And I know a lot of teams that wouldn't feel comfortable in that situation. Since last year, Georgia Tech, they're 7-1 against ranked ACC teams, 7-1 against ranked ACC teams. That's not a fluke anymore. That's a problem for the rest of the league. The only concern, I think really the only concern you have to worry about is Haynes King needs to protect himself. He plays like a quarterback who doesn't know the trainer's name yet, and that is dangerous. If he stays healthy, this team can make some real noise, possibly even push for a playoff spot. I think they're good enough to do it. On the Clemson side,
I'm just going to come out and straight up say that this Georgia Tech team has everything in front of them. Like you said, if Haynes King stays healthy, knocking on wood, that's a playoff team, period, even if they don't win the ACC.
I agree. And I think they're going to be favored in every single matchup. They should win every single matchup leading up to the Georgia game. I wouldn't put too much stock in a game against Georgia. They almost beat Georgia last year. Yep. So, I mean, it's possible. And like I said, I think they could contend for the ACC. Obviously, they'll probably be playing Miami. That'll be a tough game, but I'm really excited for Georgia Tech. On the Clemson side, not so much. On paper, the roster looks amazing. In reality, they can't run the ball. The receivers don't scare anyone outside of maybe Bryant Westco, who he did have a breakout game, 126 yards and a score. But Cade Klubnik, dude, what happened? What happened? Coming into the year, he had Heisman whispers and NFL draft buzz. Like, he was like, people were talking about him as like a top 10 NFL pick. So, like, I genuinely don't know. Against Georgia Tech, 57% completions, only 207 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. For the season, he's sitting on 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's not Heisman stuff. That's transfer portal backup stuff. And then there's Dabo. He's been around so long, it feels like nobody's challenging him anymore. The program feels stale. Yes, they still have a nasty defensive front in Peter Woods and TJ Parker. They're supposed to be first-round guys, but at some point, you've got to actually play like it. Bottom line is Clemson's not done yet, but the path back to relevance is really, really steep. They've got to win out, probably win the ACC if they can even get there at this point, and hope the playoff committee forgets about September. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech is the one making people believe again. So that's my analysis on that.
Clemson has the exact flip script of last year, and when nobody was giving them any credit, and they go out and they win the ACC and they get the 12 seed. Now all national eyes are on you, and you can't slip up one more time. That's it.
No, and I think I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they play Florida State down the line. That's going to be a tough game. This Clemson team right now cannot beat Florida State. They cannot. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, they have Florida State at home. Other than that, good grief, their ACC schedule was very kind to them. They don't drop that Georgia Tech game. The only game they possibly lose is Florida State. Yeah. Syracuse, UNC, Boston College, SMU doesn't look good this year. Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina.
They win that game, they're probably a shoo-in. They probably would be, just plain and simple. So
that's honestly, like, if they beat Florida State and they beat South Carolina, like, the media is going to salivate over that. Because for some reason, South Carolina is everybody's baby. So, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. I'll say it publicly. I understand. It's whatever. We'll get into that later. Vandy took care of business. Brayden, you talked about this game, and now you're going to re-talk about it because it was that darn good.
It absolutely was. The other Georgia team, the other side of clean old-fashioned hate, the Georgia Bulldogs get it done 45-41 in overtime. This game was an absolute shootout and was exactly what we were hoping for in 2 SEC powerhouses going head-to-head. In a game with 10 total touchdowns, 2 turnovers from each team, we were treated to an overtime thriller. Tennessee misses a potential game-winning field goal from 43 yards wide right after a false start backs them up, and this allows Georgia to put the game away with a Josh McCray touchdown to end it. If you're Tennessee, you should be pretty happy with that performance. Honestly, you should have won the game and before overtime with that field goal. Their quarterback, Joey Aguilar, looked very good, completed 2/3 of his passes for 371 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He did have those 2 interceptions, though. His wideout 1, Chris Braziel, absolutely went off. 6 catches for 177 yards and 3 of those touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Joshua Josephs had 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 strip sack in the fourth quarter, leading to an 8-point lead for Tennessee. So they should be very, very happy. They only lost this game by 3, and they should have won it. Next week, they take on UAB at home, and then they have Mississippi State by Arkansas. So those should be some good tune-up games before they take on Bama in Tuscaloosa. For Georgia, obviously you couldn't be happier. Gunnar Stockton, 23 for 31 for 304 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Running back Nate Frazier had 14 carries for 73 yards and a 21-yarder to set up first and goal for that game winner. Zachariah Branch had a good game, 5 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. They will take on Alabama next week. That was one of the games of the year last year, Georgia versus Bama. Alabama's looked a little questionable so far this season, losing to Florida State early. They beat the crap out of Wisconsin last week, so hopefully it'll be as good as last year.
I mean, I didn't expect fully Tennessee to compete at the style that they did. Understanding being home, having Rocky Top, everything that was helpful, but Kirby Smart, man, missed that hire.
Dude, I love Tennessee. Joey Aguilar, if you're a Tennessee fan, obviously like you're kind of scared going into the season, Nico transferring, but they basically did the 1-for-1 trade. UCLA sends over Joey Aguilar. Tennessee sends over Nico. I think Tennessee is getting the better part of that deal right now. Nico looks like absolute trash. Joey Aguilar has played really, really well. 906 yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, I think Tennessee is going to be really, really good this year.
It's definitely a loss in the column that does not affect you come December also.
Yeah.
That's
Say that straight up.
Definitely one of the most quality losses you can have on your schedule.
It's true. An overtime loss is basically a tie in soccer, is how the committee views it almost. Everybody tune in. Pencils out. DraftKings up. Let's go. Brayden 3-0 on his slate last week. Just bringing in bands. I mean, he's single-handedly paying for the Sports Outlet show this week. So. Thanks, man. So we appreciate it. 3-0 just on the best bets on the podcast, but back-to-back Super Sixes. Brayden is so on fire that he might quit his job and make it a career. Who knows if we'll have him back next week? If he hits it again, he might be in Vegas just making it better. So, Brayden, let's kick it. Brayden, I'm so sorry. We have jinxed the crap out of you, man. I will go in and switch all the bets right now if you would like me to.
It's okay. Let's go. All
right, let's roll. Let's rock and roll.
We're going to start it off. We're going to get a little weird here. So the jinx looks fine. We're starting off with SMU at TCU under 64.5. It's one of the highest over-under totals of the weekend and by far the highest among Power 4 opponents. But I know why that's the case. SMU's defense has been very poor this season so far, and TCU's offense has looked explosive. So you may think even with the super high over-under, they're going to hit that over. But something tells me this game is going to be a complete flip of the script. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be tight. For the next one, we're also staying a little weird. WVU plus 13.5 at Kansas. Kansas has looked dominant against lesser opponents and kept it close against Missouri last week. But WVU will be buzzing after that overtime victory against Pitt in the backyard brawl.
I like that one.
Yeah. Yes, the loss at Ohio was ugly, but I expect them to carry last week's momentum into this game and hold firm early. So those two may be a little bit weird, but this one I'm very confident in. Miami minus 7.5 versus Florida. There is no transitive property in football, but Miami beat South Florida by 37, and Florida lost versus South Florida by 2. The game is in Miami. Miami has a +4 turnover ratio compared to Florida's -3. Florida's averaging 13 points per game in the last 2 games, and Miami is averaging 47. All signs are pointing to a blowout here. I get it's Florida. I get they're an SEC team, but I'm blown away that the line is only 7.5 here.
And DJ Lagway just threw 5 interceptions in one game. So
exactly.
he's coming off that. So
Brayden, you stole my thunder. I was about to say that DJ Lagway just threw a pick while Brayden was talking about it.
So yeah, those 3 lay at plus 581. So if you want to get weird with me this weekend, there you go.
If you want free gas, throw $10 on it. That's all I got to say. Get you some free gas, everybody. Brayden, good luck. We'll switch it over here to college football. Week 4 games to watch. We just recapped week 3 for you. I think, I didn't want to talk back-to-back about the former workplace, but looking at the slate, I think after what I saw you guys picked, it would be a dishonor if I didn't talk about this SEC battle coming up for the Oklahoma Sooners in year 2. 2-3-0 ranked teams going into Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. And it's a little more than that. You may recognize the name on the opposing side, and I'm sure every Boomer Sooner fan does. Quarterback Jackson Arnold, the transfer from OU, will be leading the Tiger Pack into Norman this upcoming weekend. If you remember what happened in the last Oklahoma SEC play, Jackson Arnold got benched at halftime for 3 straight turnovers on 3 straight drives in the goal line, fumbled like nobody's business, and was benched for Michael Hawkins. He has a redemption story to give in OU, and everybody at Oklahoma loves him, but not on Saturday. Let's get into it. Oklahoma beat Auburn last season at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 27-21. I distinctly remember Jack and Coke in hand, got a 21 blackjack, and Kip Lewis with a pick 6 to seal the deal on a 17-7 quarter 4 run. Riverwind Casino, there's your shout out, with Oklahoma winning that game 27-21. The Sooners are 6.5-point favorites on DraftKings, And again, talking about a quarterback battle, you talk about now second in Heisman odds, quarterback John Mateer, who's 71 for 105, just behind Carson Beck, 944 yards, which is seventh in the country, just 5 touchdowns in the air and 3 picks, but also 4 additional on the ground. Their tight end, Jaron Kanak, has looked incredible with 14 catches, 245 yards, who leads the team in receiving. Funny story about him, guys. First of all, he's got a hilarious Twitter presence. And second of all, he flipped from being a 3-year linebacker at OU to being a tight end who is now just the leader. So there you go. That's not Deion Burks, a tight end linebacker. So got to love those stories. I'm going to butcher this, but linebacker Sammy Omasigo, I believe is how you say it. He has 14 tackles, which leads the team, as well as a sack and a half to his name, which leads the team as well. Talked a little bit about Arnold. He hasn't thrown an interception yet this year. 48 completions on 69 attempts, 501 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jeremiah Cobb in their backfield has looked fantastic with 314 yards and 4 touchdowns to his name. And then Kieran Crawford, who has 16 tackles and 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pick, is going to be looking to have Mateer on the ground commonly here on Saturday. Now, Auburn is ranked number 22, right? Let me get their schedule up for you. Let's just take a peek at it. The Auburn Tigers beat Baylor 38-24, a Big 12 team that has been horrific. Ball State 42-3, and squeaked out a 31-15 win against South Alabama. Jackson Arnold, good player, good dude, not good in primetime situations. My prediction for you is this Oklahoma Sooners team is disrespected. They're legit. They know how to fly on both sides of the ball. They have the Heisman at quarterback. Jaden Ott has done nothing, and this team continues to put pressure. Michigan has a top 15 offense, they say. They put up 40-something points on them or whatever it was. 31-14. This DraftKings line at 6.5 is a joke. Take 13.5 and get you some dough. It's that simple. This OU team is ready to rock and roll. Jackson Arnold will remember what the turf feels like at Memorial Stadium. I guarantee you that. I don't think they're legit at all. I don't think Hugh Freeze is ready for what's about to hit them. So,
Yep.
That's my take. You can talk about the team they beat last week. Or 2 weeks ago, excuse me.
I will do that. Michigan, they're at Nebraska this week, finally opening up the Big Ten play for both of these teams. Michigan's currently favored 2.5. The over-under set at 45.5. And both of these teams finally get a real opponent. Michigan's beaten up on nobodies outside of that loss to Oklahoma, as Joe just mentioned. And Nebraska's schedule has basically been week 1, Cincinnati, weeks 2 and 3, some poor FCS souls. So this one feels like a prove-it game for both sides, really. On the Michigan side, the big story continues to be the absence of head coach Sharon Moore, still suspended from the sign-stealing mess from their 2023 title run. And listen, Michigan's offense has been fine, but Bryce Underwood, the 5-star freshman, hasn't exactly wowed. He's under 60% passing, only 200 yards a game, and just 2 total passing touchdowns. Against New Mexico and Central Michigan, you'd expect Madden numbers. Instead, we're getting freshmen figuring it out numbers. Against Oklahoma, I think Joe actually mentioned it on the last pod. He was 38% completions. That's just not good enough. Where Michigan does shine is the run game. Justice Haynes has been a monster, almost 130 yards a game and 5 scores. Underwood, he can run too. He went for 114 yards just this past week against CMU. Nebraska's defense better get ready to set the edge, or it could be a long night for their run defense. On the Nebraska side, let's talk about Dylan Raiola. The dude is getting weird. It's literally a Patrick Mahomes clone. Same hair, same headband, same sidearm throws. Even the way he jogs onto the field is like Mahomes. So it's really like he Googled how to be Patrick Mahomes and just started living the role. So that's what he's doing. It's very creepy, but it also might be working, maybe. Through 3 games, 77% completions, 276 yards per game, 8 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's insane efficiency. Granted, like I said, the schedule has been pretty easy thus far, but he's really picking up right from where he left off last season. He's got help too. Emmett Johnson at running back is averaging 109 yards and has 4 touchdowns. And transfer Dane Key has been their go-to wideout with a touchdown in every game so far. He just went for 104 against Houston Christian last week. The worry for Nebraska, their defense against mobile quarterbacks. They miss too many tackles and struggle when the quarterback takes off. Against Michigan, that's a problem because Underwood, he might not be a great passer yet, but he is dangerous with his legs. If you let him and Haynes gash you on the ground, you'll get suffocated by 8-minute drives. So my prediction kind of going into this, I loved Nebraska in the preseason pods as a dark horse playoff team before the year. I still think they're really, really good, but Michigan's style of play is just a bad matchup for them. I'm taking the Wolverines in a grinded out game, 24-17, and with the total at 45.5, I've got this one hitting the under.
What a world it would be in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Dude,
if this game flips the other way.
That would be massive. And I mean, I'm hopeful for Nebraska fans. They've been through a lot of crap the past many years. So I'm pulling for Nebraska, dude. I would love to see them win.
Well, have you guys ever seen that movie Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant and the kid named Brian? They hold a basketball and it's like hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And they switch talents. I think Patrick Mahomes and Dylan Raiola did that underneath of Arrowhead Stadium where the black magic is happening.
They might have.
It's over.
Possible.
They might have.
What a theory.
It's over. It's scary. It's scary. I don't know what to do.
Something weird going on there.
Something weird going on there. Let's kick it over. Brayden, you have Texas Tech and Utah.
Yeah, I think this is the game of the weekend here. It's a huge Big 12 showdown. Iowa State currently leads the conference at 4-0 with that Week 0 win over Kansas State. These teams are looking to knock down a contender in what is a wide open conference here. They're both 3-0. I know we crapped on Utah a little bit in the preview because of their performance last year, but let's not get too excited about 3-0 just yet. They haven't played anybody. But I think this game is going to be awesome. It's their first real test for both of these teams here. Starting with Texas Tech, their quarterback, Baron Morton, has looked very good. He's throwing at a 70% clip for 923 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 interception in just 7 full quarters of football. He's been benched in the second half for a lot of these games. Last week, he only played 3 quarters. But that was against Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, and Oregon State. So not exactly powerhouses there. Coming into this game, he's known to struggle in away games. In his past 2 seasons, he's been 10 of his 15 interceptions were away from home. So something to keep an eye on there. Coy Eakin, his wide receiver, has 12 catches for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. And about half of that came last week versus Oregon State when he had 6 catches for 139 and a touchdown. He also loves his tight end, Terrence Carter Jr. He's transferred from Louisiana. He had 10 catches, 689 yards, and 3 touchdowns so far on the season. Senior linebackers Romelio Height and David Bailey, each with 2.5 sacks so far, will need to put some pressure and contain Utah's mobile quarterback, Devin Dampier. He transferred in from New Mexico. He's throwing 73% completion percentage so far, 628 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He also has 198 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. But once again, the opponents he's faced, UCLA, Cal Poly, and Wyoming, not exactly powerhouses. His wide receiver, Ryan Davis, transfers in from UAB. He has 19 receptions, 171 yards, and a touchdown. And Dampier loves his tight ends as well. He's got Dalen Bentley with 11 catches, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far. Their nickel corner, Jackson Benny, has 12 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 51.5 return yards on those receptions, averaging on those interception returns and an interception touchdown against Cal Poly. I think this is going to be a great game. I think both of these offenses are going to shine, but I have Utah taking the edge here, 30-22.
Just what a game to go to that College Game Day might have missed.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's okay. Only one Texas team can get highlighted, and it's not Texas or Texas Tech. It's the Aggies. That wraps up our college football slate here, which means typically we go into our NFL segment. Guys, we have to appease the fan base. So after thinking about it, talking about it a little more, yeah, of course we're doing the blind top 10. What are we talking about? Breakfast foods today. Breakfast foods on the blind top 10 today. Brayden, talk some strategy before I get this pulled up here for you, and let me know who's going first this week.
I'm excited here. I love breakfast food. I think it's severely underrated most of the time. You got a lot of great options here.
I think there's a lot of possibilities for this one. Are we thinking maybe some sides on the list, some bacon, maybe some hash browns, but then you got your main staples, you got your pancakes, your waffles.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get here. I'm interested.
Well, there is one person that knows what you're going to get, and it's not just me, because Mr. Kyle Johnson made this list for us again today.
Again?
Thank you, Mr. Kyle Johnson. Tore apart families with pizza, and now we're here at breakfast. So, maybe the families that got torn up at dinner can remiss over breakfast. All right, here we go. Who's going first for me today, gentlemen?
I think it's Brayden, right?
Yeah, I think it's my turn.
All right. Brayden at number 1. Also, it is up for your mind interpretation of how you feel these dishes are. So if there are certain dishes that you think come with certain things, you may ask the question or bring it into your own kind of mind. So there's a hint for you a little bit. Number 1 on your breakfast, Brayden, it can be in patty or link form. You have sausage.
Sausage. It's an absolute staple. More of a side item, you're thinking. I think it's a great start here. It's definitely above average. So I'm gonna go with 5. Starting conservative as usual.
Dip it in a little maple syrup.
This is the top 3 for me. I'm already distraught. Brent, take it as you like it. Describe it if you'd like it. You got pancakes. Any way, shape, or form you want them.
Oh, pancakes. Are these like the pancakes on draft day, or?
No, that's overpowered. You can't have your 3 a.m. pancakes. Not allowed.
You would have to mark the podcast as explicit if we said the full line.
Hold on. Best take we've ever had on the Sports Outlet Show. #Team Link. It's sausage link, not patty. It's sausage link, not patty.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Kyle approved.
Pancakes. I love me some pancakes. I love pancakes over waffles. I know that might be a little controversial for some, but I think they're a top 3 breakfast food easily. I'm going to put them at number 2.
Wow.
I love it. I'm also a pancakes over waffles kind of guy, so I'm happy with that.
Kelby will not let you guys back in the house.
Dang it.
It's the consistency, man.
Sorry about the Wake Forest game, fellas.
Waffles are too hard.
Okay. This one. Brayden, again, whichever way you'd like it. Maybe with some peanut butter. You got oatmeal.
If you're just going plain oatmeal, it's not the top tier. Even some of the flavored oatmeals aren't going to be your favorite. Put some cinnamon in there. It's still very good, but there's a lot of higher ones out there. I might just drop this at 10 so we don't have a conundrum later.
I like it.
Good pick. Get this crap out of here.
That's where I would have put it.
Brent, a dynamic player, can be made in a lot of ways. You got hash browns.
Hash browns. That's a staple side right there. I don't think I can put it over sausage, but hash browns are really, really solid. I'm going to slide it right underneath of sausage at 6.
Okay.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Is it 1 or 2 words?
I think one. One.
Hold on. Oh, it says 1. All right. This one's interesting here at number 5, Mr. Wilkins. You can have it with cream cheese or butter. You got the bagel.
Ooh, okay. You said cream cheese or butter, so we're not talking like a fully loaded like bacon, egg, and
Nope.
cheese. Okay.
Nope.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do like a good bagel, but if I'm gonna get a bagel, I might as well just load it all the way up. So, I think we'll put it at 8 here.
I don't hate it, but I feel like out of all these so far, bagels are the most like not controversial. What's the right word? Like it depends where you get it. Like if you get it out of like a store-bought bag, it's not going to be that good. But if you go to like a bagel shop, like I know there's like a ton in New York. If you get one of those bagels, that is top tier. But
the
like
homemade cream cheese.
Yeah. If we're talking like store-bought, I mean I definitely would have had it in the bottom 3. It's so like it really differs on the scale.
Up to your interpretation, as we like to say. Brent, you got a tough one here. At number 6, you have bacon, whether you like it crispy or chewy.
I feel like bacon's got to go number 1. It's just like it's the thing I think of when I think of breakfast. I can't imagine something being ahead of it. Bacon, I love it.
I'm happy with that. I like it a lot. I'm a crunchy bacon guy, but
you're wrong.
I like it either way. I think I prefer crunchy, but I'll eat it no matter what.
Agreed.
This guy is as dynamic as they come, can probably have it in 10 or 15 ways. Because of that, we have left it to one specific type on this one. You do have the playmaker, the guy on every plate. You got scrambled eggs.
Yep. When I think of breakfast, these are my top 3: bacon, pancakes, and eggs. Right there. That's an immaculate plate right there. And I'm happy with that. That's perfect.
Wow. I need some. Dude, if sausage was up there, we got ourselves some food, gentlemen. You're doing well.
It is up there. Well. It's close.
You're doing well. At number 8, one of my personal favorites, one of my wife's personal favorites as well. You got biscuits and gravy, the dual playmaker.
Oh, man. Biscuits and gravy is one of my favorites for sure. I know not everybody might think that, but like if you get some really good gravy on there, it is so solid. I got to go number 4 just based on personal preference for myself.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Me too.
We got to stop doing food. All I want is breakfast now.
Might have to go to Waffle House after this.
It is open. It's always open. They treat you like family in there. At 7 or 9, Brayden, and you will stick the final one at the other 7 or 9. You have the playmaker. Have some brown sugar with it if you'd like. Some regular sugar. Some fruit. You got French toast.
Yep. I like French toast a lot. I think more than most people. French toast is so good. Get some confectioner sugar on there. It's going at number 7. I'm worried about there's still some big ones left on the list, but we'll see.
I think I know what's coming.
I did learn that you don't see until I hit enter. So this is how you get revealed today. At number 9, to round out the list, waffles.
Yeah.
I don't
Thoughts,
hate it.
Comments, concerns.
I don't hate the list. I would slide waffles probably like either right before bagels or right before French toast. But other than that, like I think we did a solid job.
I won't give Kelby's entire list, but she did do it already. Waffles is at 1, so you guys are cooked.
It's just a wrong take. It's a wrong take.
Uh-oh.
And Maddie's right in the comments. I am a egg hater a little bit. It depends on how it's cooked. Like I'm not a huge scrambled egg guy, obviously putting it at 3, like I feel like most people love scrambled eggs, so I'm fine with it. But like I'd much rather prefer a fried egg like over medium, over easy for sure.
I'm
I'm an
definitely an
over
over
easy
easy
guy.
too. Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
I love
I agree.
dipping
Love
the bacon in the yolk. That's just immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
She's telling you not to lie, Brent. What does that mean?
She knows I like fried eggs, but that's the only way I eat eggs. It truly is.
We have some things to figure out, it seems. It's okay. We'll get it fixed. Thanks for hanging out with our blind top 10 once again. And we know it's a fan favorite. Once again, I'll make the joke. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Sports Outlet Show. We still have some NFL to talk about, but don't worry. We'll go ahead and do it. Guys, guess who's back? Oh, it's me. Here we go. Who put the 0-1 on the graphic? This is ridiculous.
Am I timing again to see if you do better than last week?
Dude, I have been practicing. I've seen it in my sleep. I've been watching Scott Hansen for some prep. I think I'm ready to go. Let me lock in. Let me get my notes ready. All right, guys, I'm scared. I'm not actually scared. We were built for this. Sports Outlet Show. Let's hit it. All right, you ready?
Yep.
In week 2 play, we had the Los Angeles Rams at 33, Titans 19. Devontae Adams looked in primetime form, 6 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown. Titans fall to 0-2, Rams at 2-0. Cincinnati Bengals get a win, but lose their star quarterback MVP, Joe Burrow, coming down the line. He's out at least 3 months with turf toe and toe surgery. Jake Browning's the guy they'll turn to. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a rushing touchdown as well. Let's see if he can pick it up in the future weeks. They go to 2-0, Jaguars to 1-1. Baltimore Ravens, an absolute stomping of the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco's return to Baltimore was not well to him. Jackson had 225 yards and 4 touchdowns. 1-1 for the Ravens, 0-2 for the Browns. The Buffalo Bills took care of business in the AFC East. James Cook was fantastic, 21 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. They go to 2-0, the Jets to 0-2, but just a beatdown for New York. The Niners 26, Saints 21 in the worst quarterback matchup, Jones-Rattler, we've probably ever seen. Mac Jones did impress, though, 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. Niners 2-0, Saints 0-2. Lions spoiled a return to Ford Field for Ben Johnson. Absolute embarrassment for Caleb Williams and company. Jared Goff throws 5 touchdowns, does fantastic. 1-1, Bears 0-2. Problem coming soon. Seahawks 31. Steelers 17. Kenneth Walker has 105 yards and a touchdown. Rodgers throws 2 picks. Does not look well, and the Steelers defense needs to clean up things on the defensive front. They go to 1-1 each at the pair. Cardinals, Panthers, what a game, first of all. Onside kicks, love to see them. Bryce Young turned it up in the third and fourth quarter, 328 yards and 3 touchdowns. That interception fumble first quarter needs to recover. Cardinals look good. Kyler Murray took down an Instagram post. Philadelphia Eagles 20, Chiefs 17. Mahomes, Hurts, they both looked poor. Hurts with 100 yards only and a tush-push TD. Mahomes with 187 yards and a touchdown. Eagles 2-0, Chiefs 17. Fine, we have the New England Patriots, but that's not my segment.
Hey, you did really good
Let's
this week.
go!
Really good. 7 seconds off.
Improvement.
Less than 7.
I feel like I was informative.
It was good. It was a good breakdown. I got a lot of info there.
Hold on. You ready? You want to see something cool? Joe's 2 minute. Wait.
1-1. Only up from here.
Yeah.
It's only up from here.
4 down.
Scott Hansen, I was watching him all week and just proud to say I did him justice. So, Scott, if you could shout us out on NFL Red Zone, that'd be cool.
You sounded like Chris Berman there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what he does. That's
Yeah.
true. Thanks, man. Hey, it's only up from here. I did have the same amount of games to talk about as well. I looked it up. Still 12. So.
That was solid.
Anyways, let's take a breath there. And Brayden, sorry to steal your thunder, but I was ready to go through all of them. So, Patriots, Dolphins.
Yeah, first of all, go Birds. Jalen Hurts may have only had 100 yards, but as he said, we won the freaking game. That's all that matters. It's not exactly what he said, but
we're a family-friendly show here.
Yeah, the Patriots, a great game. Maybe surprising after what we saw from both of these teams in week 1. The Patriots 33, the Dolphins 27. Patriots go to 1-1. Dolphins go to 0-2. The Patriots hold on despite early kicking woes. Their kicker missed both of their first extra points. It was a head-scratching yet exciting fourth quarter. We're going to break it down here drive by drive. After a Dolphins punt, The Patriots stall out and punt to Malik Washington, who returns the punt for a 74-yard touchdown. And then immediately after, on the ensuing kickoff, we have a 90-yard kickoff return from Antonio Gibson, of all people. So that was fun. And then after that, Tua Tagovailoa throws an interception on 4th and 9 directly to the linebacker Marte Mapu. Even if it got to Malik Washington, there were 2 other defenders in the area to break up the ball or intercept it as well. So that was head-scratching from Tua. After that, the Patriots elect to kick a field goal to go up 6 rather than try to ice the game there. And on the final drive, Milton Williams sacks Tua to end the game before the QB kneel from Drake May. The Dolphins, Tua and Mike McDaniels, they're both running out of time. The only thing keeping Tua in the field at this point is Zach Wilson is his backup. So, so they had to fix things here. You got to wonder when Mike McDaniels is going to start switching things up to try to save his job. Positive for Tyreek Hill, 6 catches for 109 yards, and some trade rumors. Some suggesting maybe he returns to Kansas City. I hope not. They are at Buffalo tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. The Bills are 2-0. As some jokes on the Twitter sphere are saying, there's no football tomorrow. We don't have to worry about it. The Patriots, Drake May, 19 for 23, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a rushing touchdown. It seems to be Ramondre Stevenson backfield for the time being. He's keeping it. He's staying strong. 11 carries for 54 yards and 5 catches for 88 yards. Milton Williams, 3 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 fourth-quarter sacks, including the one to ice the game. This week they're taking on the Steelers at home, 1-1. Let's see if they can keep it going.
Poor Miami, dude.
Dude, those back-to-back kickoff touchdowns was crazy. Like, Red Zone was going nuts. Red Zone was going nuts at that point. You had action in the game we're about to talk about, had action in the Jaguars-Bengals game. That's going on. It was a really fun week of Red Zone.
Dude, they did like a six touchdown reel of Red Zone recap, dude.
Yep.
They were so behind because everybody was scoring. It was ridiculous.
That's why we buy it. Even with the ads, which I'll say, the ads are not nearly as bad as I
don't even recognize them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one yet.
I agree. I didn't even notice it last week. So maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, but I didn't see them.
I didn't see him either. Oh, Brent, I'm sorry. Let's talk about it. This is a safe place.
Yeah, I told the boys going into this week that I didn't want to break down another Giants game, but they kind of forced my hand with this one. This was probably the most entertaining game of the week. I don't think many people will question that. And I have a little bit of a hot take here to start. And I think this might be straight loser talk, but I'd rather lose a game like this than just get blown out and embarrassed. Like 10 times out of 10, this is what I would choose.
Okay.
Obviously it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, like I'm used to the Giants being completely inept. Joe, you probably resonate with this a little bit being a Panthers fan.
It's true.
It was so refreshing to see this team score 37 points. Like it was awesome. It was awesome. And obviously like I'm heartbroken at the result, but I would choose this over week 1 Commanders any day. I don't even know where to go from there. I'm just so jazzed. I'm so jazzed. Let's talk takeaways. On the Giants side, the most embarrassing performance of the entire NFL week might have been James Hudson's first drive. I know Brayden was texting me about it during the game. 2 personal fouls, 2 false starts, 40 penalty yards on 1 drive, and a sack. He let up a sack too. I'm not sure if that's a record for penalty yardage in a drive, but it's got to be close. There's no way that someone has more than that. The silver lining with it though is we probably won't see him again. Even if Andrew Thomas isn't ready to suit up next week, 5th round rookie Marcus Imbo stepped in and looked like he belonged. His first time ever playing left tackle, allowing just 1 pressure the rest of the game. So he looked really, really good in his NFL debut. And I probably should have led with this, but I've got to apologize. Russell Wilson, my man, I doubted you on the last pod. but he turned back the clock. 450 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. That was vintage Seahawks Russ. We have not seen that since he was on the Seahawks. His chemistry with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson was absolutely insane. Neighbors, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those catches, he completely contorted his body to catch a ball that would have otherwise been overthrown. The other, he was basically blindfolded by Khair Alam. I don't know if you guys saw it, but his hand was literally over his eyes. Still caught it. He's already a top 3 receiver in the league. You can debate a wall. I will stand on the hill. He is a top 3 receiver in the NFL. And Wan'Dale, usually he's the dink and dunk guy, but he exploded with 4 catches of 20-plus yards. Career game for him. He was one of the top waiver wire ads this week, so I'm expecting big things for him as well going into the rest of the season. On the Cowboys side, it took a while for Dak and CD to heat up, but once they did, it was classic Cowboys. Dak threw for 361 yards and 2 touchdowns. CD had 112 of those. Business as usual for those guys. But the real killer, Brandon Aubrey. This guy is a cheat code. He's not just the best kicker in the league right now. He might be the most terrifying. On that last drive with 30 seconds left, I was texting you guys. You guys knew exactly how I was feeling. I was literally sweating because I knew if they got him inside 70, he was drilling it.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It's every time with this dude. Sure enough, he hits a 64-yarder like it's an extra point, then nails the 46-yarder in OT to win it. Absolutely demoralizing if you're me, but for the average NFL fan, this game was peak entertainment. So, obviously, the Giants are probably not going to have an offensive performance like that again this year, but it was so refreshing to see something like that, even if it resulted in a loss.
Similar feeling in Carolina, Brent. I feel you.
That Carolina game was entertaining near the end.
Man, you go back to Bryce Young's play, career high yards, 3 touchdowns and whatnot. I know we're not talking about the game today really, but the onside kick was hype. And then you do that, and there's 6 straight plays with 6 straight flags. Yep. And Bryce Young goes 0 for 6.
Yep.
0 yards. And Xavier Legette, get him off my team.
He's terrible, dude.
8 targets, 1. Dude, I can tell you off the dome. 8 targets, 1 reception, -2 yards.
We're used to it at this point. We have terrible teams. It's all right.
At least Ted McMillan looks really, really, really good.
He looks awesome. He looks awesome.
So that helps. But Brent, I'm sorry to put a knife in your back after you're talking about it, but we had Colts, we had Broncos. I'll go through it quickly for you. The Colts defense held the Broncos to just 7 points in the second half. So Bo Nix got locked up. So congrats to the Colts defense on that. And they outscored them 9-0 in the final 20 minutes as well. Spencer Schrader, let's talk about kickers going 5 for 5 this week. He had a 29-yarder, 33-yarder, 36-yarder, 28-yarder, 45-yarder. And know the name Spencer Schrader, guys. He hasn't missed a kick in his NFL career. 9 for 9 this year, 14 for 14 last year. In his career. Brandon Aubrey, who? We got perfect over here.
He hasn't missed the kicks that's counted yet.
It's okay. You didn't have to pull that stat up.
I like that, Brayden.
We were behind it. Then we have Daniel Indiana Jones. 23 for 34, 316 yards and a touchdown this past week. He has 588 passing yards, which is second in the NFL total, as well as 0 picks. Who is this guy? Indiana Jones is the name. He had a name change. Jonathan Taylor looked incredible as well. He had 165 yards with 25 carries, as well as a receiving touchdown. Denver, not sure what's going on with the offense there, but Bo Nix played well with 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. Troy Franklin is a name that fantasy football waiver wire owners are going to need to know. 8 receptions, 89 yards, and a touchdown to his name. They're spreading the ball around there in Denver very well. I will give them that. But Cortland Sutton having a catch for 6 yards, that's not good. He got locked up a little bit. It's okay. But Colts squeak by with a 29-28 win. The Colts are 2-0, and they might have their franchise guy at quarterback. So who knows? Brent, when does the Daniel Jones effect end? Like, give me the roller coaster of a Giants fan. Where are we on the roller coaster?
I thought it was this past week. You look at the Broncos; they probably have the best defense in the league. Like, I can't say anything now. I mean, he looks good. I mean, I'm sure he'll go back to earth at some point. But to start the year, I've never seen him start a season like this. So I hope he keeps it going. Honestly, I'm rooting for him.
It's collecting elite nicknames like it's his job.
I will say though,
and Indiana Jones.
I will say though, he should be 1-1. That penalty at the end of the game, that was stupid, dude. Leverage, you're gonna call leverage there when they could have called it like 8 other times during the game. It's stupid.
Kicker was perfect.
Stupid.
Kicker was perfect. Hey guys, you're probably noticing we didn't talk about 4 games: Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football times 2, which we need to get rid of because it is unacceptable for a game to go until 1 a.m. for people that have to do the post-game polls. No, not even a good one. But, that's what happens in Vegas. So we've got one of the post-game pulses with you. If you want to go check out all 3, they are live still on Instagram. We post them the morning after. So, fall asleep at 1:15, wake up for work, grab a coffee, watch the post-game pulse. We've got you covered every morning the day after any primetime game, and even if there's 2 of them. So we've done that back-to-back as well. But we'll give you guys a taste here. Falcons, Vikings. Thought Brent did a great job on the call. Here is your post-game pulse from Sunday Night Football.
What is going on, Sports Outlet Show? If you love touchdowns, tonight's game was not your game. Falcons and Vikings, they basically said, nah, let's make it a kicker showcase tonight. Final score, Falcons 22, Vikings 6. John Parker Romo, he replaces Younghoe Koo after last week's miss, trying to get that game-tying field goal in the Bucs game last week. Missed it. They decided to bench him this week. But John Parker Romo, he fit right in. He went 5 for 5, including a 54-yarder. Dude, basically, he scored more than the Vikings offense by himself. So the Vikings didn't have a great night. J.J. McCarthy, I mean, he was the brunt of the rough night. New dad on Thursday, 3 turnovers on Sunday. Somewhere in there, he forgot how to play quarterback. Just has not looked good through 2 games for J.J. McCarthy outside of that 4th quarter last week. Bijan Robinson, though, he was the only guy with any juice. 143 rushing, 25 receiving, and single-handedly kept Atlanta's offense moving. The Falcons' rookie edge rushers, James Pierce and Jalen Walker, they made JJ's life miserable. Add in a Billy Bowman pick, 4th-round safety out of Oklahoma for the Falcons. And yeah, Minnesota, they were toast. They were toast against this Falcons defense. So through 2 games, McCarthy's got 1 good quarter and 7 where he looks like he doesn't belong in the league. The Vikings were 3.5-point favorites coming into this game, but the Falcons' pass rush and field goal parade said otherwise. Tonight's lesson, babies don't just ruin sleep schedules, they ruin quarterback play too. Like I said, Falcons 22, Vikings 6. See you next time.
Wow.
It's
a lot of baby talk.
A lot of baby talk. I mean, he's a new dad. And hey, John Parker Romo, I got to shout him out. Hokey.
It's Carson Wentz time.
It is Carson Wentz time. Did you see the stat that this is his 5th year in a row starting at a different team for 5 straight?
Yeah.
And he's the only quarterback to ever do that.
And
we lived in the Ryan Fitzpatrick era.
I think it's going to look better than J.J. McCarthy.
Yes.
I've been saying this on the Sports Outlet show since 2022. So,
dude is not it.
Hey, we'll give him a chance.
All right.
It's okay. Carson Wentz is no MVP either. So,
Dang it.
Brent, need some redemption, man. You're killing the Sports Outlet Show funding.
Yeah, 1-3 last week. Not my most shining moment, but Brayden and I are switching it up this week. I did college last week. I'm doing NFL this week. So hopefully I got some good vibes going into this one.
That's why we play the game. Let's do it.
I personally like my picks this week. The first one I'm going to give you guys is Texans money line at the Jaguars. It's plus 105 right now. Jaguars are currently favored 1.5. I really liked the way the Texans played against the Bucs on Monday Night Football. Their defense has got to be one of the most physical in the league, and I think at the end of the day, they can easily stop Trevor Lawrence. They're due for a win. So I'm going Texans money line at Jags. My second one is Chargers minus 2.5 versus the Broncos. This isn't as much a testament to the Broncos, but a testament to the Chargers. The Broncos got absolutely hosed at the end of the game last week, and this should be a matchup against 2-0 teams. I just feel like Justin Herbert has been playing lights out football. Honestly, I really think he's been the best quarterback so far this year. And even with how good the Broncos defense is on paper, I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. There's a reason why Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen have been such good fantasy contributors so far. He is spreading the ball around. He has 3 really, really good weapons in Ladd, Quentin Johnston, and Keenan Allen. I think he keeps it up this week, minus 2.5 versus the Broncos. And my last one, I'm hoping it's not recency bias. I'm going Giants plus 6 versus the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. This is a battle between 2 0-2 teams. Part of me is worried because of how the Giants typically look in prime time, but the Chiefs' opponents always find a way to cover the spread. Russ is coming off one of his best games in a long, long time, and I think this is easily a one-score game. Even if I think Andy Reid ultimately wins it because he's a phenomenal coach and Brian Daboll's not. So parlayed together, that's plus 631. $10 pays $73.16. So a pretty good payday if all 3 of them hit.
Take you to a nice dinner.
Heck yeah, man.
There you go, man. There you go. Best of luck to both you fellas. Sports Outlet Show needs some funding, so if you guys don't mind winning those this week, that'd be cool. Thanks. Anyways, we'll keep running here. I know we're getting a little over time that we typically do, but hey, you get a little Sports Outlet Show OT, like a couple games this past week in college and NFL. But we'll kick it over to Brayden to talk about the game that Brent has a bet on, apparently. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've covered both of these teams a little bit so far, so I can cut this a little short because you guys have agreed with a lot of things I've said so far. I'll be brief. The Broncos, we've mentioned it to death already. They lost on that controversial leverage call last week to allow the game-winning field goal. Bo Nix has been okay so far, 382 yards, 4 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, and Troy Franklin, 12 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown. The Broncos have a turnover ratio of -3. That defense may be one of the best in the league, but they haven't really shown it so far. Let's hope they can get back on track here. The Chargers are who I really want to talk about. They're coming into their 3rd divisional game to start the season. That's got to be tough both mentally and physically. But they're licking their chops seeing the Chiefs at 0-2. Starting the season 3-0 in the division would be absolutely massive as we look ahead into the AFC playoff race. Justin Herbert's, Brent, I agree. He looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. A 72% completion percentage, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Spread the ball, as you mentioned. Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey combined for 401 of those yards and all 5 of those touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Deion Henley continues to look like a superhero. On Monday, he had 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 pass deflections, and 1 tip drill interception on the first play from scrimmage. He looked hot, and he was playing with 101-degree fever. Coach Harbaugh called it his Michael Jordan game.
I missed that.
He's an absolute beast. This guy's a superstar. The Chargers have looked stellar on both sides of the ball and are looking to continue the dominance. Brent, I'm agreeing with you here. I think the Chargers cover 34-28.
Can we talk about the fact that the Chargers are playing 3 straight AFC West games to start the season?
I know, right? That has to be like so taxing.
And so far, they're running through it.
If they start 3-0, I mean, that's props to them. I think it would be hard to climb back for these other teams.
Massive. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough playing 3 opponents in a week-to-week basis, but every time you play a division rival, it's a tough game to play. So
exactly. Intrigued
for sure. Brent, talking about the Eagles? What's going on here?
Yeah. My preview is Rams, who are 2-0, at Eagles 2-0. The Eagles are favored 3.5 in this one. The over/under is set at 44.5. The Rams are 2-0, coming off a 33-19 win over the Titans. And here's the thing about the Rams: they never play their starters in the preseason, so the first couple weeks always feel like Matthew Stafford's personal training camp. Nonetheless, last week you could finally see the offense click in the second half. Stafford went 14 of 17 for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns after halftime. And it's kind of like, oh, hey, look, the Rams do know how to pass the ball, because it was tough sledding for them for a while to start the season. Target distribution looks exactly how we expected. Puka Nacua already has 221 yards. Devontae, he has 157 and a score. Kyron Williams, though, kind of underwhelming so far. Only 132 rushing yards through 2 games. So he's looking to step it up a little bit going against the Eagles this week. But as I mentioned, the Eagles, this week is a huge test. Philly's also 2-0 with wins over the Cowboys and Chiefs. Not exactly cupcakes. Those were good wins for them. The story with them has been the ground game. Saquon looks fresh. Jalen Hurts is doing Jalen Hurts things. And, of course, we have the tush push, which, let's be honest, got away with at least like 4 false starts last week. Brayden's trying to keep that under wraps. But I think nobody saw it. I think they'll be a little bit more on top of it this week. Here's the issue with Philly. We haven't seen Philly's passing attack like at all. AJ Brown owners in fantasy are crying themselves to sleep that night.
Yep.
Joe knows what I'm talking about. 6 catches for 35 yards through 2 games. That's not wide receiver 1. That's some guy you picked up off waivers.
Well, Brent, it doesn't help when your quarterback throws for 100 yards and doesn't know how to complete more than a 5-yard check down. So
the problem is they're winning. They're winning. So, obviously, like, from Nick Sirianni's standpoint, like, he's like, all right, let's just keep doing it. If we're going to win like this, then let's keep going with the plan that's winning us games. The problem in this one, I think the Rams might actually force them to score enough points in this one. I think the Rams are going to put up enough points where Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the ball at least a little bit. My prediction, the Rams always play the Eagles tight, even in the playoffs. I think it's another close one. Give me Eagles 26, Rams 24. So the Rams cover, and I'll take the slight over on 44.5.
Yeah, Brent, I'm a little worried. You mentioned Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. One of them is going to be lined up across Adoree Jackson. So that's
best corner in the league. What are you talking about, man? Kyron Williams just in the backfield, just a reminder. It's okay. They always figure it out in Philly. They always do. So I'm not worried about it. Let's take you over to San Francisco at Levi's Stadium. NFC West battle between the 2-0 teams. I guess there's 3 over there, actually, and then Seattle as well is 1-1. 4:25 Eastern Standard Time kickoff for you guys here on Sunday. Kyler Murray, mentioned him a little bit earlier, but let's talk about the actual stats. 383 yards and 3 touchdowns with 70 rushing yards. James Conner, not sure what's going on in the Arizona backfield, really. 23 carries for 73 yards. That's poor to have through 2 games, as well as just the fact he's not getting through the line of scrimmage. Trey McBride looked great, 12 receptions, 139 yards. Marvin Harrison needs to get a little bit more involved in week 3 as well for the Cards. San Francisco, breaking news, not buying Shanahan's take at all that Brock Purdy might play this week. That's called throwing up smoke. Mac Jones will be under center this weekend, so good try for Shanahan, but The dog ain't barking on that one. Christian McCaffrey, 35 carries, 125 yards, 15 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Looks like prime CMC. Let's see if Mac Jones can play some magic again for him. And then Fred Warner has just looked like Fred Warner, 19 tackles, 2 TFLs, a pass deflection, and a forced fumble to his name as well. If Mac Jones is uniquely under center, I'm not buying what happened last week. It was the New Orleans Saints defense, the worst in the league. I understand he played well. I understand he has some weapons behind him. But Kyler Murray in this offense, it's weird saying Kyler Murray's a vet in the league, but he is. James Conner's a vet in the league. Marvin Harrison is a great player. Trey McBride. I think this offense is going to overwhelm them a little bit and score a couple points that San Francisco can't respond with. I have the Cardinals 24, Niners 21 in a close one, and it's crazy to say that Arizona is going to start the year 3-0.
That would be wild. They've had 2 pretty easy games to start. I mean, you couldn't ask for, no offense, Joe, but you couldn't ask for a better opening schedule than what they got the first 2 weeks. That would be, if they started 3-0, that would be wild. I mean, most 3-0 teams usually find a way into the playoffs, so that would be really sick for them if they could do it.
I agree. With that, we take you to our final segment and play the song Staying Alive, Staying Alive. Brent has Brandon Aubrey to thank for one thing this week, is that he's still alive in the survivor pool at 2-0. So, hey, Brent, and the parlay cashed, every good thing happens, okay? It's called emotional hedging. It's what you got to do sometimes. But, Brayden, take me over your pick here for survivor. Let's see if you can get to 3-0. What is it?
Yeah, Brent, sorry about it, but I do have the Chiefs over the Giants. Maybe they can keep it close for you again here. I just don't see a world where these Kansas City Chiefs, quarterbacked by Patrick Mahomes and coached by Andy Reid, fall to 0-3. If they do, maybe I'll be happy. Call that emotional hedging. I just don't see it happening this week. I get the Chiefs.
Well, Brayden just spoke it into existence. He's on a hot streak, so there goes the Giants. They're starting 0-3. No, I'm just messing with you. It's probably going to happen. You're probably right there. I have probably the easiest pick of the entire week, Bills over Dolphins. Yes, it is a division matchup. The Bills are at home in this one, so that makes it even better. Bills Mafia is going to go crazy. I think Mike McDaniel is the first head coach fired in the season. I think it happens maybe week 5, week 6. It's looking real bad over there.
Yep, not great. Trying to all stay alive here at the Sports Outlet Show to all go 3-0. I am picking on the Cleveland Browns in back-to-back weeks. Sincerely, I picked the Bengals, and then I picked the Ravens. I'm picking the Packers to send Cleveland to 0-3. This roster looks like a Super Bowl roster.
Yes, it does.
Top down, Micah Parsons just put the frosting on top of the cake, right? This team looks fantastic. It is in Cleveland, so that's worrisome a little bit if Joe Flacco goes prime time on them. But I don't see a way this Packers team loses in any way, shape, or form. The O-line for Cleveland's horrible. I think Judkins is about to be the starter in Cleveland, so we'll see what happens there. Joe Flacco, I'm not sure how much longer he has under center for this season before they turn to Dylan Gabriel. You saw a flash of him last week as well in that beatdown. So, and then Myles Garrett's the only shining star, right, on the defensive side, but the Packers have every answer for him on the line. If you could have an answer for them, if you could have an answer for Myles Garrett, the Packers probably have it, but I'm sure he'll still get a sack, but whatever. Jordan Love looks fantastic. I like the Packers in this one, but picking against the same team 3 times in a row, you would think eventually they'll fix it, but hopefully not next week. But that's my take. Green Bay, we need a dub.
We're all going to start 3-0 on our survivor picks. It's happening.
Just in case you missed it and you're still here. 1, 2, 3. That's what you need. All right? Brayden, good luck. We're about to see the craziest slate of all time.
Yeesh. Full fade.
Awesome. No. All we do is get dubs on the Sports Outlet Show. That's all we get. Thanks for hanging out with us here, everybody, on your Wednesday night. It's awesome to bring you guys this weekly content. If there's something different you want to see, let us know in the comments, either live or below. You can also go follow us on Instagram and Twitter. It's not called X, it's Twitter at outlet_show or at sports_outlet_show on Instagram. We will see you guys next time here on the Sports Outlet Show. Don't forget, don't forget to join us next Wednesday, 9:24, same time here for weekly content on the Sports Outlet Show. We're weekly. What else could you ask for? You get unbiased opinions here, hot takes, and Brayden wins you millions of dollars. It's true. It just depends how much you put into it. That's all I got here on the Sports Outlet Show. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Wednesday. Until then, we'll see you next time.